Hello and welcome along to 98 Not Out on the YouTube channel. If you're enjoying all of the content, remember, please subscribe and give this video a like. And don't forget to hit the notifications bell to get updates on all of our latest releases. This week is Mental Health Awareness Week. And to mark the occasion, we caught up with someone that had had some very public problems with his mental health, but is now, I'm pleased to say, fully recovered. And here to tell us all about his story is none other than Mr. Monty Panesar. Right, this week we have a very special guest on the show, England legend and one of the most recognisable faces of cricket over the last 25 years. This is a big pleasure for 98 Not Out to be interviewing Mr. Monty Panesar. Monty, welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for having me on the show. Especially you are the winners of a cricket podcast. I was in the queue, wasn't I, to get on your show?
Well, David Gower edged you out last week, but you are a very close second to him.
I think he can edge me out every time. You know, 7,000 test runs and one of the legendary broadcasters. Absolutely, he can always be ahead of me in the queue.
He's only a few test runs ahead of you, isn't he, Monty?
Well, if I bowled left arm spin to him, then I would have known how good of a batsman he was. Never had the chance.
Oh, there you go. We can work that out for you. We can hook that up there.
Yeah, give me an over. I would have got him out.
Have you still got him, Monty? You still playing?
Yeah, I play at Twickenham, and I was fielding, on Saturday, and we got, Teddington looked like a real strong, team, and Middlesex Prem is quite a strong, quite a strong division, and it's a reflection also to the county, because the county's started off really well. And last year when I played, the club sort of system is strong. And similar time when I played, in the Essex for Hornchurch, it was such a strong league. And you can see that when Essex that year also won the championship. So I always believe that if the club system is strong, on a Saturday, it's a reflection on the county. And you can see why Middlesex are doing so good, because, it's a real strong league.
That's right. You've got happy memories of playing Hornchurch. I think you played for Shenfield for a little while as well, didn't you?
Yeah, we played at Hornchurch. We did the treble. We won the 20, the one-day and the four-day competition. The only club cricket, to do it, I think in the history of the Essex cricket. So Hornchurch, did the treble that year. Fantastic.
Well, it's good to hear that you're still going. And I was just looking down your stats, and it's you're no slouch when you talk about David Gower, but I mean, you are on the honours board at Lords yourself for 6 for 129 against the West Indies back in 2007. That must have been a big moment.
Yeah, it was, because that pitch was quite kind of a flat pitch, and I think the umpire was on my side. He kept on giving everything out, hit the pad, and it was just out LB. But I think I was always that sort of attacking spinner. I remember when I was at Northants, Nick Cook, would always say to me, even David Capel, who's obviously not here with us, he goes, always, have that curvature in your run up, so you're attacking the off stump. So as I complete my action, my bowling arm or the ball pitches on off stump, and if it skids on with the arm, and sometimes, early season, batsmen don't get their feet moving, they practice against the fast bowlers, because you can get a couple of early wickets before lunch, then it makes it so much easier for the seamers, and I remember doing that. And then obviously, they kept me on. They thought, he's bowling really well. Let's just keep him on. And it was just nice just to get, get my name on the board. Whenever I always go there, it's nice to see the name on the board.
Of course, your first test wicket, just remind us of what happened and who it was.
Well, it was obviously the great man, Sachin Tendulkar. And that was, look, I've always idolized him. And I remember when Mike Hussey, Matthew Hayden, Devon Malcolm, all the players who played against him, I would always ask him, even Andre Nell, I'll go and ask all of these players that, what is it like playing against Sachin Tendulkar? And because I never thought in my wildest dreams I'll be on the same field as him. When you think of yourself as a cricketer, you don't think that you can be on the same field against certain cricketers. And I just had that opportunity. I remember Freddie sort of backing me as the attacking spinner. He goes, we need some wickets. Monty's always, attacking the stumps. We've got to play him, and obviously played in that test match at Nagpur, and it sort of hit the pad, and You know, that I couldn't see any of the stumps, and instantly Alim Dar gave it out. And you know, I'm sure because you know he's Pakistani, that's why he gave it out, right? He thought, yeah, go on then, Monty, you can have your first Test wicket. I'll give you Sachin Tendulkar. And off I went running towards point, and it just began, and I couldn't believe it, honestly. And you know, he's such a humble human being, that he's such a great human being as well. Like he sort of got the physio to ask, you know, do I want my ball signed? I said, oh, obviously, yeah, I would love that. And he said, once in a blue moon, mate, never again. And he signed it. But it's just Tendulkar, isn't it? It's like, it's his, you know, how great he is as a cricketer, you know. And I remember watching his documentary, and in the 90s, there wasn't like any, you know, sports people that the whole of India could look up to. You know, India was more of a developing country in the 90s. They needed someone to celebrate, someone to look up to, so they can flourish in their businesses and, you know, in their kind of like industry sectors in India. And Tendulkar was that guy. He was basically carrying 1 billion people's hopes and dreams that you can become like me, when there was no one else. That's why I don't think we'll find another sportsman like him. You know, we compare people like Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan, you know, Roger Federer, but they didn't have that expectations of carrying, you know, a nation's dream, you know, in the 90s, when he was single-handedly doing it for all the people out there, you know, the Bollywood stars, the entrepreneurs. Now, you know, I think there's now more millionaires in India than the population of England.
Yeah,
like it's absolutely incredible, you know, how India is now. But it was because of Sachin Tendulkar, and that's why I think he was the greatest sportsman ever.
are you a big fan of the Bollywood films? Can you do a bit of the Bhangra dancing, whatever?
Yeah, so you point the aeroplane, then you screw the light bulb, which is like that, and then I've got a dog called Rambo, so we, you know, pat the dog. And Rambo, yeah, he's spoiled, isn't he? He loves the old massages, walking time, and everything. So, yeah, we all love a Bhangra dance. It's part of the, you know, Punjabi culture. It's part of, I think, everyone's culture now, and everyone loves the Bhangra.
Yeah, yeah, and what's not to like?
Back on the cricket pitch and talking about wickets, you mentioned Freddie a moment ago, and there's some iconic wicket celebrations on there over the years. You know, you remember Freddie doing his cross, Stuart Broad with his hands on his face when Ben Stokes took that catch. You know, Imran Tahir, the way Imran Tahir goes charging off. You had some pretty fun celebrations, and you always, there's a few times I think you just look genuinely surprised and delighted in equal measure. Yeah,
I probably did, and I think, you know, I remember the coaches always say to me, look, you know, when you're playing against the best players, you just got to focus on your process. So you bowl quality deliveries, and then the consistency of good deliveries, good overs. You know, you got to bowl consistently good overs to get these top batsmen out. And that whole build-up, you know, the pleasure of bowling good quality, you know, deliveries to the batsman and then getting him out is just, you know, I never thought I would. I honestly, I never thought I'd play for England. And then when that dream come true, in my sort of upbringing, I always was encouraged to celebrate my moments. Always said, whenever you get your wicket, whenever you get your, you know, exam. Like I remember, you know, my dad, when I got my I passed my driving test second time round, and he goes, show me the certificate. I don't believe you, you know. And it was just, you know, things like that. You know, always, all right, I'm going to prove my dad wrong. I'm going to get these big players out. So, you know, he's always says to me, you disappoint me, son. I always thought you'd become a doctor, but you ended up becoming a cricketer. So, you know, that's obviously, you know, I think that's where I get my hard work from, and that celebratory moments. Always been encouraged to celebrate. And I tell people now, you know, people say to me, look, the way you celebrate playing cricket for England is actually, that's what you should do. You see some cricketers, they freeze, you know, in the spotlight. I don't like it when they do that. I want them to just enjoy. They work so hard to get there. You know, you've got to enjoy these moments all your life. You know, you get to your destination. If you can't have a moment of celebration, then, you know, why work so hard?
And one of your most iconic moments was batting with Jimmy, of course, at Cardiff.
Yeah, that was. I was completely surprised. I being Monty as I am, I told my bat maker, "Oh, give me the stickers for the next test match. This test match, I'll probably, the game's gone. I'll probably get out or whatever." And he goes, "That's fine." And I did him a disservice, probably a Swanee. So he was very kind. He understood, but I wish I had them stickers, because he probably would have got so much advertising for it. But yeah, we somehow managed to draw that test match, and it was just a real iconic moment. I think it kind of was the catalyst where at that time the England team thought, yeah, we can take on the Australians, and they ended up winning the Ashes. So every series has this sort of pivotal moment, and I thought that was definitely one of them.
What was it like being in that side with all of those huge characters? Freddie, KP, Jimmy, Broady, Swanee. That must have been a hell of a dressing room.
Yeah, it was brilliant, because everyone knew their roles. There wasn't that sort of any complication about, oh, can I spin the ball? Can I have I got any technical deficiencies or anything like that? It was just go to the nets, do your training, be really competitive. Everyone just like I'll go through all my variations and bowl really competitively, but trying to get them out as well. And that's why I really enjoyed the likes of Peterson. He used to absolutely belt me out of the ground, but I would always try to get him out. But it was that competitiveness, you was getting ready to train. And when you play a test match, it was a lot more easier, because in the nets we were super competitive. So when you're playing against some of the the opposition, they're not as competitive during the match, so you really feel like you're on top of them. And I think that time it was a very special time. Now looking back, when only when once you're finished, you see how valuable that time was, and some of the greatest players in that England team that I played with. So it was a very special time.
Now, just turning to things a little bit more serious, this week is Mental Health Awareness Week, and you've always been a big champion of mental health, and we know that you've had your problems in the past. Firstly, how are you doing these days? How is your mental health at the moment?
Yeah, look, mine is back to normal now. I don't have any sort of like issues or anything like that, and I made a clear sort of agreement with myself, was that I don't want to go on medication. I did try it, and it works. That antidepressant is a very powerful pill, because it makes your brain so quiet, so calm, but you lose your personality, your energy, who you are as a normal human being. That sort of gets all suppressed. It's like you sugarcoat something, or you numb the problem. So I'm a big fan of holistic approaches, but I understand, that chemical imbalance in the brain, you may need to take the medication. But then, faith was a very much my medication. I went back to faith, and I found, being in a congregated environment, it gets rid of loneliness. You can speak to other people, share, like you say, problem share, problem halve. And also, just like all religions, they have a very common theme. They have praying, they have chanting, they have meditation. All of them have these common themes, have their own religion. Like Christianity has these hymns, Sikhism has a kirtan, Hinduism bhajans. They all, Islamic has, their prayer calling as well. So they all have chanting is such a common theme amongst all religions, that I found, faith the best form of healer. I found faith my medication, and it was holistic. So people ask me, they go, "How did you do it?" I said, that's how I did it. It may not work for everyone, but it may work for some.
You lead me on very, very nicely to your latest television appearance, which I've just finished binge watching. I was absolutely hooked and watched the whole thing all the way through. Pilgrimage, which if people want to, they must see this. It's on BBC iPlayer at the moment. And it was Monty and a group of other celebrity friends on a journey following the steps of St. Colomba from Donegal in Ireland up to the Outer Hebrides. And Monty, I've got to say, you were amazing in that. You really threw yourself in. You were enthusiastic, keen to learn about other people's faiths, and I think you were kind of the quiet star of the show.
Yeah, well, thank you for that. I just try to participate with everyone, and obviously, understand more about what St. Columba did. He was an Irish monk, and He brought Christianity to Scotland, converted the king and the people around him. Before then, it was obviously pagan, and the whole journey through that. And then what does that signifies with you? People ask me the question, what does faith mean to you? You know, what your belief system is. And, you know, we just believe in this kind of like one energy that flows through, you know, every human being, every sort of plant. That's the existence, that energy that's out there. That's what seeks, you know, obviously, you know, belief. But I don't want to impart my belief system on anyone else. But that kind of, I think that philosophy just helps to mix with every human being, you know. Visibly, we may have different color skins, different classes, different backgrounds, different habits, but inside that energy is the same that flows in everyone. So then that kind of mindset is what, you know, I remember my friends when I was younger, they'll say to me, be one with the grass, be one with the wicket, be one with the ball. When I play against some of the big competitors, because that was my process. That was my methods to, you know, get into the moment of bowling really well against the top players and try and get them out. I know, you know, I don't know if these kind of, you know, philosophies, you know, agree with everyone else, but everyone has their methods of performing at their best. And that was mine, you know, and it really helped me. So if it helps you, then yeah, give it a go.
It was an interesting group of you. There was Scarlett Moffat from Gogglebox, Nick Hewer, who people will know from either Countdown or The Apprentice, and then Lawrence Llewellyn-Bowen as well. A very eclectic bunch of characters.
Yeah, I thought the BBC did, you know, really well because everyone was from a different religion background, and we were all could able to, you know, like some people, they, you know, obviously some of the older, obviously people in that group, they still wanted to understand what is faith. You know, all their lives they've probably just been very successful in their careers by living in the logical world, you know, the organized world, the scientific facts and everything that makes sense, and which is understandable. But then there's obviously what I believe in. There is something else out there which we can't see. It's the invisible force. It's a sixth sense. It's something that does exist. That's what I believe, but it's more blind faith, you know. And you know, someone will say to me, "Prove it. Prove this one energy goes through everyone." I said, "I can't prove it. It's just a feeling, isn't it? It's like, you know, like a radiator that gives off heat. You know, you can't see the heat, but you can feel it." So I think that really opened up everyone else because of my strong faith and how strongly I was rooted about with my faith. It helped other people to, you know, thought, well, actually, what does faith mean to me? And also, I was able to, you know, be quite curious about, you know, the history of St. Columba. That, you know, there's a sort of all the history that go through it. So it made me kind of like, you know, become a bit more like inquisitive, and I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed the sort of learning that they knew what they thought about Christianity and paganism.
Did you enjoy the cold and the wet weather that you had to walk through many of those expeditions?
Oh, absolutely not. You know, especially when my sugar level will go down, I'll get so moody and grumpy, and they'll say to me, "Look, Monty, I know why you're moody now, because you need a couple of sweets." And we would always, you know, we would always have a sugar rush, and then have a couple of sweets, and that'll keep me going.
Bit of jalebi. Well, it was a great series, and I really enjoyed it. And very entertaining and very informative. And I thought it was your part, and that was really good. So what next for Monty Panesar? Are we having some more Monty's channel?
Yeah, I'll keep working hard towards that. You know, on the Monty channel. I've just graduated MA in international sports journalism, so the goal is to become a sports, you know, maybe broadcaster, TV, maybe, you know, work more on TV as well, because I think the response was really sort of people really amazed, you know, by the programming. So hopefully I can you know, work on this on my TV presenting career as well as my, you know, sport broadcasting career.
And I can't let you go without asking about your impersonations, which Saj Mahmood has said you are very good at West Indies, Australian, Cockney. Is this true?
Well, this is the dressing room banter, isn't it? So I've got to be very careful now. You know, you may get cancelled these days. You know, if you start sort of having that kind of laugh. But I don't know. Accents are okay, aren't we? I'm not going to offend anyone.
No, absolutely. You're not. You're not offending us.
I don't know which one. Scouse one is quite good. When I meet Tony Bellew, I always do my Scouse accent with him, and he always thinks it's terrible.
Go on.
So Scouse one or Carragher, I always listen to Carragher. Oh, let me try it now. Liverpool. Liverpool not doing great, mates. Yeah, Everton need a big game against Arsenal. And it's like, okay, was that terrible?
Yeah. And what about an Aussie accent?
Oh, geez, but well, get that Monty Panesar out, mate. He's so difficult. He drew a test match against us at Cardiff. Got to get him out. Well, I'm not in a great form today, honestly. When you catch me by surprise, I don't think I'm at my best. All right, mate. Yeah, how's it going? Yeah. That Alistair Cook, he keeps scoring hundreds, doesn't he? He's scored 70 already. I reckon he'll get to 100 before he retires.
Very good.
Okay, and so you're playing for Twickenham, and let's hope that goes well for you. Have we seen the last of Monty in an England shirt?
Well, I don't know. It depends if there's a county out there who probably think, you know what, let's if Darren Stevens going to be at 46, let's bring Monty back in the game. That will be up to a county and this coach. If that's their vision, because if they want to bring me back, hopefully they'll give me a call.
Well, if not, I'm sure we'll be seeing you on Sky Sports or any of the other channels, Fox Sports, BT Sports, giving your insight and superb knowledge on the game. And in fact, in all other sports, I know you're interested in lots of sports, so I'm sure your new career will be beckoning soon.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I'll try and just try and follow other sports as well, boxing, football, cricket. So keep myself busy.
I was watching the new thing on ITV last night, the games. I reckon that's a bit of you, Monty.
Yeah, give me a bit of year of training. I'll be fit as a fiddle. They normally say fit as a butcher's dog, don't they? And make sure I get my 400 times under the minute and lose another 5 kgs of weight. Who knows? Maybe on the podium with the gold medal.
Watch this space, right?
Yes, like Arnie said, I'll be back.
What a great way to end it. Monty, many, many thanks for joining us. We hope all goes well. And once again, we urge everyone to watch Pilgrimage on BBC iPlayer, and you'll see a different side of Monty altogether. Many thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you very much.